So here we are. Pat just came off the course, and I said, "How'd you do?" And you said,
I think I shot about an 86 on this course. I'll take it. But we had a lot of fun, and most importantly, it's for an amazing cause. So
"It's really nice." I was so impressed when I found out and learned more about what Troy and Karen were doing and trying to build an ice rink out here on the East End. I thought that was a really admirable cause.
I think it's tremendous. I mean, if you think what sports does for kids, the exercise, the camaraderie, the learning life lessons. I think it's kind of an antidote for what we really need. I mean, you learn life lessons and character development. So sports and having a place for kids to go to and just, be kids with everything we've gone through with COVID and the isolation, to have a place where kids can go and have fun and exercise. I mean, I grew up around rinks, whether it was an outdoor rink or whether it's an indoor rink. Hockey's been a big part of my life. So I know for a lot of the community, an arena would just be a tremendous gathering place for families and for kids to kind of, create memories and play sports and, do the things they love. And, obviously I'm passionate about hockey, so I'm passionate about this rink project.
Now, you moved at an early age because you were born where?
I was born in St. Louis.
Me too. I was born at St. John's Hospital in 1965, and do you remember the hospital?
No, but it was Kirkwood, Missouri, 1965. There you go.
Yeah, I was like, there's that connection.
What day? What date? What's your birthday?
My birthday's June 3rd of 1965. Are you a little earlier, February? That's what I thought. Yeah, so I grew up, and most people that are born in St. Louis, they always say, "What high school did you go to?" But then I realized that you moved at 7. So what was that move like? Do you remember? Was it your dad's job or something?
It was my dad's job. My dad was with Chrysler, and it's a great story. He was a foreman on the line in St. Louis, and then he put himself through night school. Took him 8 years to get his master's in business, and he was transferred to Michigan, where we originally from. And 33 years later, he ran 7 of Chrysler's 12 plants. Wow. And used to report to Iacocca. So he worked hard, was self-made, and instilled those values and work ethic. And obviously, I had an older brother and a younger sister, and so being out on the lake and being around the rink, and then trying, hard work and all of those values were instilled, but sacrifice too. He sacrificed a lot. He had a chance to go to Delaware when I was 14, and he said it was a promotion too. It was an opportunity at a new plant, and he said at the time where we were at in our hockey careers, he thought it would be a good move to stay, even though it might have been better for him. And I probably wouldn't be sitting here if he took that job. So there's a lot of sacrifices our parents make, and but values start in the home, and sports and school are vehicles to reinforce those values. And I'm fortunate to have 3 amazing kids and son-in-law and daughter-in-law now, an amazing wife, and now I have a grandson. So it comes full circle. So it's been a fun journey, and but it all starts with family.
Love that. You're so sweet and so humble. You actually have gotten, I wasn't even sure which accolade to talk about. Was it the congressional this or the Vatican that? Or I'm kind of going to go with the Vatican because I think, maybe that gets top billing sometimes, right? But for you, your own journey in these some 56 years, for you, what are some of your own personal highlights besides your family?
Well, I mean, obviously to be able to play at the highest level, be recognized at the highest level. You don't anticipate any of that. I was a kid born in St. Louis, raised in Detroit. As you know, I left at 7, raised in Michigan, played my minor hockey. Even back then, if you were able to get a college scholarship, that was the bar. And I still, think that's an amazing accomplishment. But we really never had any guys that really broke through until it was the 80 Olympic team. Then guys like Joey Mullen, guys like Bobby Carpenter, started to show that, hey, these guys can play. And if it wasn't for those guys paving the road, I'm not so sure that we would have had the opportunity. So I'm just grateful. If you really, my dad always said, always go back to home base and never forget where you came from. And if I think about it, just tremendous amount of gratitude, humbled that I got to play 15 years professionally, and then most importantly, what it taught me. I always said what's great about sports is the value of sports is really what it teaches you, and the character development and the life skills. The game lives long inside of me long after I stop playing. Everything I do every day is based on what I learned from the sport and from family. And so it's hard for me. It's a team sport. I always say score your goals when you're young because life is all about the assists when you get older. I believe that.
And we're assisting the children of, our future today, right? So everybody's coming together, teamwork, camaraderie, going to have a lovely time playing out on a beautiful course at Sabonic. Have you played here before, Pat?
I have and love this course. Fantastic course. It's like the Pebble Beach of the East Coast for us. And it's for an amazing cause, I think. To see all the athletes come together to support sports, to support hockey, support just kids, and the value of what sports does. I know you're going to talk to Greg Buttle coming up next, and
I might. Wait, who do you want me to interview next?
He's
Oh,
right
hey!
here. Tell you the same thing that what sports has taught him and how he. So when you get to our age, you look back and you say, okay, how can we make it better? How can we make a difference? How can we leave it better? And I think true, leaders of servants of their sport owe it to the sport to try to leave it better than they found it and try to give back. And the game gives you so much, and you can at least try to give back as much as you can. You're never going to give back as much as it gives you, but you try.
You have a lot of leadership skills, and companies are putting them to good use. Before we wrap up, what are some of the things that you're doing when you're not being as charitable as you are today?
Well, no, I'm involved in as an ambassador with NFP and as a sports ambassador and their sports and entertainment program, which is great, a lot of fun, and just trying to bring the same, teamwork, hard work, communication, and trying to keep passing the puck. They've been great. I work as a consultant at the NHL in development and helping out in a few other areas, and then I do some stuff with JLL as a consultant. So just for me, it's a lot of fun. It's being a part of teams, which is something I've used to my whole life, and just being with good people and then trying to add value. I always say when you're an athlete, you have a measurable result that you're shooting for all the time. And one of the things I learned in business, it's not always the case, but when you're an athlete, what's the goal here? What's our playoff? What's our Stanley Cup? And you're constantly trying to inspire and influence in a positive way as best you can.
And almost like trying to find a little bit of strategy, if you will, right? In order to see, okay, if this is what we're going to do, we're going to reverse engineer it, right? We're going to be like, okay, or also looking at the competition and being like, well, hey, they usually go to the left, but this time we're going to, go to the right instead, right? Kind of like I don't know. I think hockey, in a way, kind of teaches you to figure it out. Exactly. You just stay focused on the goal and you get there.
It's one of the things I always say is you just try to figure it out, and if you do it under the basic principles of all the things you've learned in sports, and then you communicate with the team. The whole is greater than the sum. So you just got to put a good team around you. I try not to be the smartest guy. Just try to put together good teams. That's what's fun.
Well, this was such a joy. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed meeting you, fellow St. Louisan. I'm just going to still say that you're kind of from St. Louis,
Homegrown.
There you go, homegrown. Stay tuned for more. We've been living it up.